Like and subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get 1 week good luck for you. Try this, it really works. We are used to getting buses that drop us at school. The luckiest ones among us can get to school in a few minutes to walk. Still, many people need to make a long and tedious commute for an hour or even longer. Yet outside of the cities and the most remote areas in the world, kids face a completely different set of obstacles. From the sneaky paths along the hillsides of China to Vietnam's mighty rivers, kids do what they need to do to get to school. Today's countdown will show you the 10 most dangerous ways kids get to school, including suspension bridges, narrow passes, flying across zip lines, rafting in bamboo boats, with the most extreme at the top. We don't want to sound too condescending or moralizing, but these stories help us understand why it's so challenging to stay in school developing countries. Come with us today and join these brave kids getting to their schools. They teach us that learning is about character and attitude indeed. Number 10. Jiowanjong China. While some kids need to stretch through a sneaky path to get to school, others need a bit more effort. At the 10th spot, we brought you the children of Jiowanjong village in China. They live deep in the Hainan province mountains, a remote and beautiful place with no roads or paths. Daily the children climb unsecured ladders that are leaning against a 60-meter tall cliff. Villagers make it and replace the ladders every 3 to 5 years, and the alternative to the extreme climb is a 4-hour cross-country track. Number 9. The Silangkap village, Indonesia. Extreme weather events are becoming increasingly common around the world. The 9th spot, we brought you the kids from the Kingly Cap village in Indonesia. 2021, the Ciherang River flooded, damaging severely local infrastructure. The flood destroyed the village's main bridge, which connected the locals with other small towns, public institutions and schools. The bridge snapped and the water through timber and rope. Only a rope cable stood the river's ferocity that helped the kids get back home from school. Until they got a new bridge, the kids kept attending school using the single rope cable and bamboo or rafts. Number 8. Java, Indonesia. As you know, Java isn't only a software programming language or a coffee nickname. Both names come from an Indonesian island. For spot number 8, we found a group of iron will kids in a small town inside the jungle of Java, Indonesia. Children take a breathtaking path through a 100-foot-long suspension bridge every day. It's common to find children riding their bicycles on a narrow wooden slat to get to school across the bridge. Although the bridge seems taken from a movie, it is easier to go over the suspension bridge rather than make their way along the jungle floor, then to the edge of a river, and finally get a boat if they find one. Number 7. Resale Philippines. For spot number 7, we found Resale's kids in the Philippines. To go to elementary school, students use an inflated tire tube to cross a river every day, yet that is not all. Students need to walk for an hour to get to and from school. When the river stream is high, they skip classes or take shelter at their relatives' homes. There's no safe way to cross such a river when the heavy rain hits for years. The locals have asked the local government to put up some sort of suspension bridge so crossing is a little more comfortable, faster and safer. Number 6. Guan China. There are many ideas about the path to success. Overall, we think it's narrow and difficult. Today, we have an example of it, albeit a bit too literal. A group of young children of Bamboo Elementary School and their teacher walk every day through a narrow path on the side of a cliff. Bamboo Elementary School is halfway up a mountain, and the path to reach it seems to be taken from an adventure flick. Stretched passes and tunnels lead to a humble school. At this place, almost 50 children learn to read in most elementary subjects. More than 40 years ago, the locals built a path as an irrigation ditch. No one thought about it as a proper path, but it still works as such nonetheless. Today, only the children's safeguard is their teacher, who leads them every day to school. Number 5. Zanskar, Indian Himalayas. Everyone knows the Himalayas is the largest mountain range in the world. At the 5th spot today, we brought to you the brave children and families of Zanskar in the Indian Himalayas. The Zanskar rivers offer an extreme set of rapids cutting through the huge mountains. Few people live around the local children take advantage of the winter when the river freezes. When the Zanskar is frozen, students cross it to get to the capitalistic region. After 6 days of trekking and hiking, they get to school. There's no way to pull a sled around, so while students need to find their way through the school. Number 4. Rio Negro, Colombia. Pagoda is a beautiful city and one of the most hectic and modern in South America. Yet at the 6th spot we brought you the kids from Rio Negro, a town that's only 40 miles apart from Pagoda, but still very far from its urban style. In Rio Negro, kids attach themselves to an old rusted pulling system, then they drop over the edge before diving at 40 miles an hour along with a zip wire to the opposite bank half a mile away. Well, we said dangerous, not boring. Indeed, it must be a thrilling trip to school. Few families live in the area and use the 12 steel cables that connect one side of the valley to the other to get access outside their village. Before the steel cables, the locals made with hemp, then surrounding forests attracted logging companies, but eventually, logging became illegal as the government declared it the protected rainforest. The loggers substituted the hemp cables with steel ones, so currently, the Rio Negro people can use them daily. Some would say there's a business opportunity for thrill seekers in Rio Negro. Number 3. Dayang Village, Nepal. As extreme as all the other paths and bridges we have shown you before, one of them as dangerous as this one. At the 3rd spot, we brought you the kids of Dayang Village in Nepal. Rope bridges connects the small villages around the Trashalai River. Part life bringer, part menace. The river determines the locals' lifestyles. Although several suffered injuries before the 2010 tragedy drew national and international attention. 5 people fell into the Trashalai River when a cable snapped. Since then, several bridges have been improving, although commuting is far from safe. However, new bridges have been set in unsafe, but less convenient locations, which creates a paradox for the locals. Still, many choose to use the older but unsafe bridges when the river is low. Now get ready for today's best pick. An amazing school placed in a remote and extreme scenario. Let's talk about it in the next number. Number 2. Gulu, China. If we look at the school's surroundings, one would think we're going to a Shaolin monastery instead of an elementary school. In Gulu, China, a remote village has an elementary school at halfway up a gigantic cliff in the middle of a series of canyons. In order to get to school, kids have to walk for 5 hours up a mountain path. Along the way, some parts are 1 foot wide without guardrails. The fall from these paths is steep and over 1,000 feet to the canyon floor. Not an excellent trek, we would say. Number 1. Trong Hoa, Vietnam. Sure, taking a tiny boat or crossing a precarious path or bridge is not ideal, but in the 1st spot today we brought you the most dangerous way to get to school that we have found. Rivers surrounding Trong Hoa commune in the Mingle district in Vietnam. Dozens of kids swim twice a day across the river to get to school. The locals used tightly sealed plastic bags to protect their clothes and books, then the kids crossed the river almost naked. Then when they reach the other side of the river, they get dressed again and keep walking. The river is 15 meters wide and 20 meters deep. Kids can't go to school during the rainy seasons because it would be lethal. We hope that you felt inspired and thrilled as we did with these incredible kids. This is the end of our video. You can watch some more amazing videos on our channel here.